Today, I want to share the framework that I've used to really take control of my personal finances. So maybe it'll help you too. I put together an acronym for this. I call it the easier method. We're going to go into what each one of these things mean and how you could apply it to your life. So, first things first, let's just go over what the acronym means. This is the easier method. The E stands for eliminate bad debt. And we do these things in this order. So we eliminate bad debt. Next, we add to our assets. We stockpile cash. The S is for stockpile cash. The I is for invest in the markets. The second E is for expanding your income. And finally, the R stands for rinse and repeat. So we have eliminate bad debt, add to your assets, stockpile your cash, invest in the market, expand your income, rinse and repeat. Let's get into what all of these things mean just really briefly so you can understand it. This way you can take this and you can apply it and really, grow your net worth and really take control of your personal finances like I've been able to do from this method. So number one, eliminate bad debt. This is the first thing that you do. Like if you have, and so what is bad debt, right? Uh, Bad debt is any debt that you have that's not making you more money. Like if you have, like, let's say that you have a duplex and you have a mortgage on that duplex and you don't even live in the duplex, you rent somewhere else, but you're renting out those units. Like that's not bad debt. You have debt and you have a lot of it, but that debt is helping you create cash flow and helping you be able to own an asset. Your tenants are paying for the mortgage. If you've done everything right, the tenants are paying for the mortgage. Maybe you get a little bit of money on top of that as well. And once the mortgage is paid off, you have cash flow and you own an asset. That's not bad debt. Bad debt is like credit card debt, personal loans that you use because you're behind on bills, like payday loans, a car loan. That's bad debt. Yeah, you do have a car because you have a car loan, but you don't really have an asset. Like that car is depreciating in value. Yes, you could sell it and get some money, but then you won't have a car. Like if you've used debt to buy an asset that is going to continually pay you or appreciate in value, then it's good debt. But if you use debt to buy anything else, then that's bad debt. And bad debt snowballs. When you have bad debt and you're making the minimum payments on it, whatever it is, whether it's a loan, auto loan, credit cards, the credit card company or the bank that gave you the loan is going to be making more money off of you, more than you could have make investing in the market. So the first thing that we do is we focus on eliminating bad debt. Take as much of your paycheck as you can. I do this every time I get paid. I go through this easier system. Take as much of your money that you can afford to, and put it towards that bad debt. Student loans, that's another version of bad debt. Pay those things off. So once you've done that, once you've eliminated bad debt, you want to add to your assets. If you already have assets, like let's say that you own a home or something like that, um, you can add to the value of your home by doing things that makes your home more valuable, whether that's putting in new cupboards or new floors, things like that. Usually, like landscaping stuff doesn't really add to too much value in your house, or we're not going to get all into real estate in this, but you want to add to your assets. You want to make sure that your assets are increasing. If you don't have any assets at all, one way that you can do this is just by saving. Your stockpile of cash is an asset. And so that leads us to the S, right? So we have eliminate bad debt, we have add to our assets. The next thing is stockpile cash. So even if you're already adding to some other assets that you have, you still want to be stockpiling some cash. And one rule that I use for this is at least 10% of my income goes into my cash account. And extra bonus points if you have this in a high yield savings account instead of a bank account. High yield savings account makes it so that it's harder to get your money out of. It's not just attached to a debit card that you can just pull out. You have to you transfer between accounts, and that usually takes a couple days. And on top of that, you're earning interest that's higher than the rate of inflation, meaning that your money isn't being eaten away by inflation just by sitting there. So that's where you want to stockpile your cash. Moving on, investing in the markets. So this is the same principle as stockpiling cash. Uh, a rule of thumb for me is I want to make sure that I'm investing at minimum 10% of my income. So, like, this is what it looks like. I get paid, I take my paycheck, I divide it by 10, and then whatever number comes up, I take that and I put it in my high yield savings account. And then I also take that same number and I put it into my Roth IRA, which I put into the market. Um, and Yeah, so you want to make sure that you're investing in the market. If you don't know what to invest in, I have other videos on this channel about this, but like you can't go wrong if you just put it in the S&P 500. You're going to be fine, and you can do that with like an app like Robinhood. I'll leave a link down below to Robinhood so you can check it out if you want. But there's a whole bunch of other money market accounts that you can use that are basically free. Fidelity, Charles Schwab, it's a bunch of them. You can just sign up for them, and then you can put money into the S&P 500. You don't need a brokerage to do it for you. So invest in the market. That's I for the easier system. The second E, expand your income. This is something that I feel like a lot of personal finance people that I see making content kind of miss. Everyone's always talking about cutting expenses, spending less so that you can invest that, not buying a coffee so that you can take that $6 and put it into the market or put it into your retirement accounts. But here's the thing. Um, you also want to like try to increase your income as well, whether that's through starting a business, whether that's through different side hustles, whether that's through just working more at your job or trying to get a different role where you have more pay and more responsibility, or maybe even cross training altogether. Like I'm doing this right now. I'm going to school. I have 1 year left before I have my bachelor's degree in accounting. And then right after that, I should have my CPA. Well, a year after that, I'll have my CPA. And this is going to increase my income substantially for the rest of my life, which means that I'll be able to contribute more, way more than 10% to my high yield savings account and to the market, to my retirement. So that's why this is really important. The more you increase your income, but you keep your lifestyle the same so you can contribute more and invest more. And last but not least, we have rinse and repeat. Every time you get paid, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but this is what I do. Every time I get paid, I look at my bad debt. If I have any accumulated from the previous month, I pay all of that off. Pay it all off. Like I do have credit cards, but I don't keep a balance on them month to month. So I get paid, pay all the credit cards all the way off 100%. So I'm not getting charged interest on them at all. Then I add to my high yield savings account. I add to my retirement accounts, which goes into the market. And I'm already going through the process of expanding my income. Um, and I'm actually looking for a different job right now that has to do with accounting while I'm in school full time, just to expand my income even more. And then I rinse and repeat. I do this every time I get paid. And that's it. That's why this is called the easier system. Uh, because it's just you don't have to remember a bunch of stuff. So give this a try. If you really want to take control of your finances, let me know in the comments if this made sense to you. If you have any questions or if this is something similar to what you do, like share that in the comments below. That way, everybody watching this, we could all help each other out. If you have any other tips or tricks or things that you did to be able to like increase your net worth and really take control of your personal finances, I'm sure they're going to help somebody else. See you guys in the next video.